Good morning to everybody that's watching this, all the beautiful souls that are with me today. I hope everyone's been doing all right, man. Hope everyone's been doing all right. I've been inactive for the past couple days because, to be honest, I haven't really been in the right headspace. You know, there's a bunch of things that have happened that have kind of taken a toll on my mental, and I found myself indulging in some of my preferred vices. I found myself being a little bit more negative towards myself than usual, and just overall not really doing the best, right? And I was I woke up today, right? And I just realized that today was the first day in like a week that I've actually gotten, proper rest. And I was like, you know what? Things are gonna be okay. Things are gonna be all right. And I felt so much better just in general, right? And I think it's partially because I got proper rest, but also because I realized that because I'm aware of the things that are happening, I will never truly be in a really sunken place, right? I wouldn't say I have an addictive tendency, right? But I could definitely when I'm in a lower state of mind, I would definitely do more than I would have done previously, right? But yeah, I just realized things will be okay. I realized I was forgetting to be appreciative and grateful for the things that I do have. I was able to sleep properly. I was able to take a shower, have running water, have water in general. I'm able to see the sun today, right? These are all things that I forgot to be grateful for, which I think also contributed to my lower state of mental, and while I know that life is always a journey of, just ups and downs, right? You'll never truly be in a top place, right, consistently, or you can never truly be at a bottom place forever, right? It's always just ups and downs, going up. One day, for a while, you're doing really good, and then maybe something happens, you go back down, and then you go back up again, and that's just life. But I know that to be true within myself, anyways, and to the people that I know close to me. But I'm realizing now, I was able to pull myself out of it, and realize that things are gonna be okay. And I'm glad that I was able to even step away for a little bit, because I didn't want to put out something that I didn't even truly believe. The messages or the things that I talk about, I want to not only resonate with myself, but to hopefully resonate with someone else. And in order for that to happen, I feel like you have to truly believe in what it is that you're saying. Just like with the salesperson, I feel like the difference between a good salesman and a mediocre salesman is how much they actually believe their product will actually help them, right? So they're able to sell it with more conviction, with more honesty, right? And that's how I want to, go about talking to not only myself, but just to, whoever may be listening, whether it be one person, whether it be multiple people, right? Things will be all right. If you could take time to really appreciate what it is that you do have, right? Things that, a lot of people wish they even had. If you can consistently do that, then you will always find yourself being okay, right? Always find yourself going back on an upward trend, being able to succeed in whatever it is that you want to do, because what it is that you have that a lot of people don't have, and you're grateful for it. I know a lot of people in my life personally who can either come off as very ungrateful or just don't take time to appreciate what it is that they do have, like things just like basic necessities, right? I knew that to be true in my life too. I would find myself not being able to actually and truly appreciate what I would have unless it was gone. Like, for example, like internet, right? I would take advantage of having it so much, and then when it would be gone, I'd be like, oh my goodness, my life without internet is so sad. And while I don't truly like believe that in a sense, but I feel it, especially with like water. Like, if I didn't have access to water, I'd be like, oh my goodness, I need some right now. Or just food, like if I was in a situation where I couldn't eat for a while, just things like that. Being grateful for all those things that you have, roof over your head, being able to sleep properly, if you live in a safe area, right? If you're able to go outside and truly appreciate the world around you, right? A lot of people can't. A lot of people can't do it. And just take a second to breathe too. I found myself so caught up in my head, right? I was so caught up, just thinking about all the stuff that's been happening, not thinking about myself like, oh my goodness, this is so awful. Oh my goodness, I'm so shitty. Or I feel so bad, right? So caught up in my own head, I forgot to breathe. I forgot to ground myself and breathe and be like, you know what? I'm gonna be okay. Things are gonna be okay. No matter what happens, right? No matter what kind of situation you may find yourself in. Because pain is just temporary. Pain is always just temporary. But you can use that pain as a means of growth. You can alchemize that pain and change it into something much more beautiful if you allow it, right? Or you can allow that pain to take control of you and cause even more damage than it would have done initially. Because you have the power to do that. Because everything's going to be okay. Yeah. I just wanted to walk out here, get some sun. I haven't done that in a while. And just send that out, Send that out not only to myself, but to maybe someone else who's watching this. Everything's going to be okay. Just take time to be grateful for what it is that you do have. But yeah, that's what I have for you right now. If you're seeing this, I love you. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And make sure to take care of yourself, because the only person who can take care of you is you. Have a good one.